Definition of aptitude. The word aptitude is derived from the word aptos, which means fitted for. Very often, words such as potentiality, capacity, talent, etc., are used synonymously with aptitude. In the Dictionary of Education, aptitude is defined as a pronounced innate capacity for or ability in a given line of endeavor, such as a particular art, school subject, or vocation. In Warren's Dictionary of Psychology, aptitude has been defined as a condition or set of characteristics regarded as symptomatic of an individual's ability to acquire with training some knowledge, skill, or set of responses, such as the ability to speak a language, to produce music. English and English, 1958, defined the term as the capacity to acquire proficiency with a given amount of training. According to Traxler 1957, aptitude is a condition, a quality or a set of qualities which is indicative of the probable extent to which an individual may be able to acquire, under suitable training, some knowledge, understanding, or skill. If we analyze all the above definitions, we can discern certain features of aptitude as follows. Aptitude is symptomatic or indicative of one's potentialities. Aptitude is the result of interaction of heredity and environment. An individual is born with certain potentialities. After that, the environment helps or hinders the expression of these potentialities. The concept of aptitude is very broad. That means aptitude embraces any characteristics which contributes to learning, including intelligence, achievement, personality, interests, and skills. It is not confined to specialized learning capacities such as music or painting. Most intelligent tests predict the student's ability to learn, to read, write, and do mathematics. In other words, these tests measure the student's potentiality for learning academic subjects. Therefore, it can be said that these intelligence tests are scholastic aptitude tests. Aptitude predicts future ability. When you say X has scholastic aptitude, it means that X will be successful or do good in academic activities. Thus, aptitude always has a future reference. Aptitudes are qualities of an individual that can be harnessed by appropriate training. In other words, for example, if a person does not have the aptitude required to become a musician, that is, she or he does not have the ability to discriminate between pitch, tone, rhythm, and other aspects of musical sensitivity, she or he would not be a musician even after sufficient training.
Kinds of aptitude. Some of the most common aptitude types include logical aptitude, spatial aptitude, organizational aptitude, physical aptitude, mechanical aptitude, science, technology, engineering, and maths aptitude, and linguistic aptitude. A logical aptitude is a logical reasoning test that measures the ability of a person or aptitude to reason logically. That is, it enables a person to analyze his tasks and obtain logical situations to issues. Spatial aptitude is another aptitude test, which is one of the several aptitudes or abilities that are identified using aptitude testing. A person with this spatial aptitude, he has the ability to understand three-dimensional shapes, the ability to imagine the movement and interaction of objects and shapes is a characteristic of spatial aptitude. Number 3 is organizational aptitude. This is an aptitude that helps an individual. Aptitude is a logical reasoning test that measures the ability of a person or aptitude to reason logically. That is, it enables a person to analyze his tasks and obtain logical situations to issues. Spatial aptitude is another aptitude test, which is one of the several aptitudes or abilities that are identified using aptitude testing. A person with this spatial aptitude, he has the ability to understand three-dimensional shapes, the ability to imagine the movement and interaction of objects and shapes is a characteristic of spatial aptitude. Number 3 is organizational aptitude. This is an aptitude that helps an individual to operate and organize efficiently. For instance, having strong logical aptitude, it enables him to competently plan work trips and create presentation slides. A person having this organizational aptitude, he can often prefer organizing and prioritizing data and work tasks. Physical aptitude is another aptitude which denotes natural capabilities. There are several different types of physical aptitudes, including agility, strength, speed, and good hand-eye coordination. Number 5 is mechanical aptitude, which enables an individual to understand how a machine's different parts functions in combination. When a person having this mechanical aptitude, he can enjoy developing, deconstructing, and even repairing. Number 6 is science, technology, engineering, and maths aptitude, which is also called as a STEM aptitude. This STEM aptitude, it means that a person can excel in maths and science fields, and he can quickly and easily solve maths problem. They also have a good understanding of science subjects, and they can easily adapt and adjust to new technologies. Linguistic aptitude. Linguistic aptitude assists an individual in effortlessly learning languages, and an individual in this.
History of aptitude test. No single person can be cited as the inventor of aptitude test. The first modern intelligence test was developed by Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon in 1904. But that is just one type of aptitude test. The first known test was described as an intelligence aptitude test. However, it differed significantly from those tests of today. The history of the aptitude testing officially starts with Sir Francis Galton. He pronounced the first test in the early part of the 19th century. Unfortunately, Galton's experiments were mainly physical and sensory. Today they are more mental or cognitive in content. As a result, Galton's test results didn't stand up to significant scrutiny. The other problem with early aptitude testing is that they were designed to identify mental weakness. As with any test, if you have a specific target in mind, the test can be adapted to that task. Consequently, those who performed exceptionally well were ignored. The change late in the 19th century when Messrs. Stanford and Binet combined resources. Like Galton, their early work involved mentally disabled persons. However, by the beginning of the 20th century, their intelligence scale, the Stanford Binet scale, was published. This became adopted over the next few years. In 1916, the Stanford Binet intelligence scale was introduced. This was the first test based on theoretical knowledge. This scale was adopted to help create the Army Alpha and Army Beta. This test for mental capability. These two armies tests were based on two scales. The Alpha test was for those who were competent English speakers. The Beta test was designed for those who were not skilled at using English. Thank you.
Development of aptitude test. Aptitude test was developed during World War I. First, it used in recruitment of army called Army Alpha. Later, used as a college admissions test in 1926. In 1933, James Bryant Conant decided to start a new scholarship program. In 1938, all the member schools of the college board started using the SAT as a uniform exam, but only for scholarship applicants. In 1942, due to war, all the pre-existing college admissions tests were abolished. So the SAT became the test for all applicants. In 1944, under contract to the Army and the Navy, administered the SAT to more than 300,000 people all over the country on a single day. In 1948, the Educational Testing Service was chartered and the SAT was on its way to becoming the basic college admissions device for millions.
Now, let us look into the importance of aptitude test. These exams provide a comprehensive picture of a person's mental state. The aptitude test is very important for students in school or for adults who want to change their careers. The exam will provide them with a precise result of a person's true talents. The fact that aptitude tests are now widely employed for a variety of purposes demonstrates their value. Some of the areas where aptitude tests could help are as follows. Placement purpose. If a job requires some specific skill or some particular trait in the person, it is evaluated by aptitude test. Choosing a career. The result of the aptitude test tells us about the skills or abilities of a person. This result is of great help in choosing a career. A person will get to know what he is good at and he should choose a career accordingly. Academic improvement. If a student takes an aptitude test, it will directly or indirectly tell him his strong and weak subject. The student can, therefore, work on his weak subjects and improve them. Aptitude examinations should be a part of every student's education because most international organizations conduct aptitude tests on job applicants. Pupils should be taught how to solve aptitude tests from the start. Students who practice aptitude tests from the start will be able to complete them correctly and on time. Kinds of aptitude test. Depending on the industry and the job profile, the aptitude test can differ from one test to another. The various aptitude tests are given below. Numerical reasoning test. Tests students' mathematical ability on percentage, averages, and the like. Verbal reasoning test. It analyzes students on the ability to access verbal logic. Diagrammatic reasoning. It tests students' ability to logical reasoning using diagrams and flowchart. Situational judgment. It tests students' problem-solving ability. Abstract reasoning test. These are similar to IQ tests and examine general knowledge and utilize students' knowledge in the new situations. Logical reasoning tests the student's ability to recognize patterns, sequences, and relationships between shapes and imagery. Induction reasoning test tests the candidate's ability to see patterns and examine data in a pressurized environment. Problem-solving test evaluates the ability to visualize a problem from different perspective and find a solution based on given information. And the last one is decision making and judgment tests that involves analyzing various alternatives to a problem to choosing the most appropriate solution using logic and common sense.
Advantage. Standardization. Aptitude tests are standardized and are great for the reliability and validity of results. Hence, it is difficult to challenge the results of an aptitude test, making it practical to use during the recruitment process. Cost effective. It is easy to administer aptitude tests as they are outsourced and carried out on laptops and computers. It is also accelerates the grading process and expedites the recruitment process for a company. Analysis of the individual. An aptitude test will determine an individual's weaknesses, which will help a company and a school to determine the training programs needed to implement for individuals to improve those specific skills. No consideration of soft skills. Aptitude tests are designed in a certain manner that prevent a candidate from demonstrating their soft skills, and soft skills are an equally important part of a successful candidate. Disadvantage. Test anxiety. Many candidates experience anxiety before test, which can cause stress and turn into psychosomatic illness. The symptoms of the illness include increased blood pressure, dizziness, and shortness of breath. The physical and mental symptoms of stress can hinder an individual's ability to perform on an aptitude test. Incomplete assessment. An aptitude test does not paint the full picture. Just because a candidate does well on the aptitude test does not mean they will perform well in the real world when a particular situation arises. Conclusion. Therefore, the goal of an aptitude test is to understand an individual's strength and weaknesses along with the ability to perform a particular task. Aptitude tests are often offered in organizations and schools. The advantages of aptitude tests are standardization, cost, effectiveness, and analysis of the individual. The disadvantages of aptitude tests are test anxiety, no consideration of soft skills, and they do not give a full report of candidates' ability.